typing is harder with your gloves on. Cool. All right, we're back, everybody. Hope you had a good break. We're here now to talk to you about the expansion space. So again, I'm Casey. I'm the leader of the Montrose Metro Community Garden. We've got Jenna here, fresh Loyola graduate, and also our intern, as well as
Bridget Degnick, for County Commissioner.
So we are just north of Montrose Avenue now. Everything you've seen in the previous videos was from Montrose down to Berthoud, and we are just north of that. This is where we're hoping to expand the garden. So we talked about in our last video, we've got 46 vegetable plots. 6 of them support our local food pantries and the rest are rented out. But I also have a wait list of close to 70 families that are waiting to get plots. And so the best thing that we can do to address that, as well as creating a self-sustaining income stream for our garden so it can continue to expand in a really sustainable way, is by doing an expansion. So we're looking at this space across the street from Montrose, and it will go all the way up to Sunnyside Avenue, so a full city block. And as you can see, this space has kind of 3 levels on it. It has a narrow little level at the bottom, which would be an extension of the pollinator flyway. And then in the middle, we measured the space from the retaining wall to the next retaining wall. And what we found was that it was already engineered at exactly the same amount of width as our fence line, our pathway, and our raised beds in the other space. So we're looking at taking that entire second level and converting it into additional vegetable beds. Then the top level behind it would be for natives, for some smaller trees and shrubs, in order to still provide kind of a wildlife corridor in a way, moving its way up Ravenswood Avenue. So you have this really lovely backdrop to be against. Now we had some people come in and take a look at this because you can see there's a lot of trees in this space and some of them are beautiful. Those redbuds right now are gorgeous. And we don't want to interrupt those. So we're working with the design in order to see how many we can preserve. The really big tall tree that you're seeing there, that's a bur oak. Bur oaks are so important to local ecology, and it's a beautiful specimen and it's very healthy. So we're going to leave it, which means with this space we'll actually have a spot where someone can sit down and take a break and be out of the sun, which is kind of fun. Yeah. The junipers, a lot of those will have to go, but we're keeping the ones on the top. So we're going to be doing this build and being as environmentally conscious as we go, which is kind of a fun game and a neat mental exercise. A lot of the plants that you see in the space now are either drought resistant or they're native grasses. So those will get moved to the top and bottom areas so that we can still preserve those plants. We're not going to be dumping out a lot of garbage. We're going to be using it to enhance the space overall. It's a really exciting project. It's also going to be pricey, so we're going to need your help. We are seeking donations. You can find a donation link on our Facebook page. You can look up the Montrose Metro Garden on GoFundMe or send an email to MMCG Grows. And that will really help us with the fundraising that we need to do in order to do a build like this. It is a long space with a lot of projects in it. We're going to be posting volunteer ways that you can help us out with moving some of the plants and decrease some of the costs. But for now, we really need to get to a certain point where we're ready to move forward and be able to get a crew in to help with the building of the beds.
So when there's families and kids of all ages come and help plant, or do you cut it if like they have to be at least 6 or something, or?
Well, we wouldn't allow anybody to be in here under 6 unattended.
Okay. Yeah.
But we very much encourage families. We have a lot of families with children who incorporate the garden into their home learning as well as just into their life as a family because it is such an enriching environment for kids to be a part of. The other thing that we're really considering with this space is that the Ravenswood Hospital location, which is not far away from here, is being turned into a senior center. And so we're looking at having a couple of extra plots on the end caps that are available so our seniors can come and do some planting on their own as well and really incorporate that into the community. The extra bonus of this space that we don't necessarily have with our previous one is that there's end caps, and it's kind of hard to see right now, but basically the land juts out a good 50 feet from the train tracks at both the Montrose end and the Sunnyside end. And that's going to allow us to bring in some picnic tables and make an outdoor classroom area as well, so that when we have elementary schools, Cub Scout and Girl Scout troops, all these different school-age kids coming to the garden in order to do a learning day, we'll actually have a space for them to sit down and do some learning and then go do hands-on activities. We've been kind of pinch hitting that right now in our old space because it's so narrow, and here we'll be able to provide a safe space for that learning to occur, which is great.
That's great.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun.
Well, we're happy to come and help dig in and volunteer and pull weeds or do whatever you need us to do. And I'm sure everybody that's watching would love to be out here and in the sunshine and feeling useful. I know staying at home right now can be tough because you don't feel like you're getting as much accomplished as you might want to, but in time, hopefully this summer, there'll be a good opportunity for some volunteer work and unsupervised volunteer work. So I really encourage you to get out here. It's absolutely wonderful, and I'm so encouraged by the work you're doing, the sustainability portion of it. All this green source and space is really excellent for, you know, extra oxygen and nutrients it's given to the soil. So it's wonderful. Everybody should get out and dig in.
Dig in literally, yeah.
Literally.
Thank you for joining us today so that we can discuss more of this. And for everybody tuning in, I hope you'll pay attention to our Facebook page moving forward. We're going to be posting solo volunteer projects that you can come do in a safe, socially distanced way. And we hope also that you will be able to donate to the cause, no matter what you can, in order to help us create this green space in a longer way and a more lasting way for our community. It's going to make a really big impact on our neighborhood to have this kind of corridor available for native populations of bees and butterflies and birds, but also for all of the community members who live here to enjoy this green space, especially in Ravenswood. There's a lot of development happening here, so we want to hold on to these green spaces as long as we can.
Absolutely. Thank you for inviting me.
Thanks. All right, we're going to take one more break, guys, and I will be back solo, and we will be talking through the Sunnyside Savannah space, which is really exciting and just came to us in the last year, so there's a lot of cool stuff to talk about there. Take your break. We'll be back shortly.
Bye, everyone.